Hi, I'm Randy Efron from Skylattice Property Capital. I'm a former CPA and I spent over a decade in New York City investing capital into commercial real estate on behalf of the private equity and Wall Street lending firms that I worked for. Now I leverage that experience and those relationships to help you raise debt and equity capital for your real estate deals. In today's episode, I am going to discuss another form of ownership for hotels and other types of commercial properties. Similar to my prior two episodes, the structure that I am going to go over today also includes a private equity firm. However, the distinction is that the private equity firm in this scenario is going to partner with a sponsor in a Gplp structure instead of taking on all the roles themselves. Let's go over some definition reminders. A sponsor is the party that finds the real estate deal, executes the business plan, and ultimately leads the sale of the property. If we were talking about a development project, the sponsor would be the same party as a developer. GP stands for general partner and LP stands for limited partner. In a limited partner, general partner structure, the GP is the sponsor of the investment and the LP is the investor that funds the majority of the required cash for the deal. For the most part, the LP functions as a passive investor. All right, let's get into the details of a GP-LP structure. Typically, GP-LP forms of ownership are structured as 95-5 or 90-10 deals. A 95-5 deal means that the limited partner invests 95% of the required cash for the deal, while the general partner invests the remaining 5%. In a 90-10 deal, the limited partner invests 90% of the required cash, while the general partner invests the remaining 10%. Remember, the LP is a private equity fund that has raised millions and sometimes billions of dollars from investors. The GP is the sponsor or investor, developer I should say. Therefore, the LP has a much greater financial capacity to write large checks. Let's talk about some of the advantages of having a GP-LP structure from a sponsor's perspective. First, you are going to be able to invest in very large deals despite only having a fraction of the cash that is required for the investment. This allows you to stretch your cash and invest in multiple deals rather than just one. Second, putting programmatic joint ventures aside, most real estate investments are executed on a standalone basis, which means that one bad investment does not affect other investments. If the sponsor was set up as a private equity fund themselves, one bad investment within their fund can end up decreasing their promote since all of the investments are aggregated in one fund. The third advantage is that the GP-LP structure allows the sponsor, or GP, to magnify the return on their capital by utilizing waterfalls and promotes, which we will go over in another episode. However, for the time being, you should know that waterfalls and promotes allow the GP to receive a disproportionate share of cash flow relative to the percentage of capital that they invested. In other words, in a 95-5 deal, the GP only invests 5% of the required cash for the deal. However, waterfalls and promotes may allow the GP to receive 20 to 60% of the cash flow even though they only invested 5%. Again, we will discuss waterfalls and promotes in another episode. Now, since I don't want these episodes to get too long, I'm going to pause here and we'll continue this on the next episode. In the interim, if you would like to stay informed about new episodes, please click like, subscribe, or follow, or send me an email at randy.efron@skylattice.com if you need help refinancing your loans, raising debt or equity capital, or would just like to leverage your time better without incurring any overhead. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.